Hi there, and welcome to the channel and welcome to the live stream. I'm going to get into a rather explosive topic. Well, oh dear, I shouldn't have said that word so early in the live stream. Maybe I get demonetized now. Who knows? Racism, and I'm going to say this. I don't like racism. That's all finished. Well, and that should be it. That should be where we all that should be the thing now. We don't like racism, and we have moved on, and we don't judge people of the color of their skin and ethnicity and so on, but by their character. And yeah, this should be as they say, a no-brainer. Should be very easy. We should be able to agree on this. At the same time, we should celebrate our own ethnic groups and our. I'm Norse, a Norseman here in Norway, and I'm very proud of that. And uh, I've said several times that actually strengthens my roots, and it doesn't take anything away from my fascination and sometimes admiration of other cultures. Now, um, what I have been seeing, and there is nothing, I mean, this is not really a new thing, sadly, because it's been going on for quite some time. And several other YouTubers have talked about this, of course. Um, it seems like racism is back, and I almost titled this, well, there has always been racism, of course, but racism as an accepted thing actually is back. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And other YouTubers have talked about this in length, so I'm late to the party, I guess. But we are at a place now where people get taught in school and university that, not everywhere, but I am being told that at least in the USA, in the universities there, I haven't been there, so you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but what they are teaching, at least in some of the universities, is this critical race theory. And the idea is that the system or society makes people who are white. I don't even like that word, we're not white or black, we're different ethnicities. It's incorrect, that word. Um, it makes us, people who look like this, racists, and we don't even know it. That's the idea. And we have to be re-educated because of our racism that is in us, like a disease, like we are possessed with some demons or something. And you know what? That idea is extremely racist. That idea is also extremely, well, it's wrong, but it's also extremely harmful. It is harmful because it takes away personal responsibility. And also, it puts a lot of blame and guilt on young people, especially. Nugget and Biscuit says, I'm a Native American, German American hold on. Native American, German American who practices Norse paganism. Life is wild. Yes, wonderful. That is awesome. And thanks for the super chat. Okay. Yes. Now, Craig says critical race theory is taught in California high schools. So let's, for the sake of the argument, say that it really is so that people with this skin tone, they can't help it. We can't help it. We become racists because of society, and we're so bad. We're so bad, you know. Let's just assume, for the sake of the argument, that that is correct. It isn't, but let's just assume that. Then it would be correct to say that that's my dog making a mess over here in the sofa. If you're hearing some strange sounds, it sorry. It would then be correct also to say that, for instance, well, any ethnic group um, who have historically been a majority in an area is subject to the same mechanism and therefore also racist, right? So you could go to Africa and places in Africa where white people, and I don't like that. I'll explain why I don't like that word. But then you could say that, well, all um, black people there are racists. Yeah, that must also be true then, following the same logic. So, why do I not like white and black and all that? Well, because it's incorrect and it's a bit foolish. I don't like those terms. Now, I'm Norse and I never think about myself as white. Doesn't give any meaning or anything. No. And I don't think about people with an ethnicity from Africa, for instance, as black. I don't think about people from with that ethnicity as black. I I will be curious about their ethnicity and I will want to learn more about that. Um, and this black and white thing, well, if we go back, you know, looking at the DNA, actually very few people are either white or black these days. Especially when you have a minority like Afro Americans in the USA, for instance. Usually they're not 100%, their DNA is not 100% from Africa. And actually, a funny thing, I thought I had 0.5% of DNA from the Amazon Delta, right? Because my father did a DNA test and it showed up there. But and I thought that was very funny. How far back do we have to go to find that sailor or whatever who went there and what happened there? But no, that's when it's that little, it's not. It's just an error in the results there. But it would have been fun, you know. Now, again, it should be very simple. This should be very simple. Let's just treat people. Uh, let's treat people nice, you know, and let's not assume that someone is in a certain way just because of how they look or how or the color of their skin. And there was a time when that attitude was called anti-racist. There was a time when I could say, well, I'm an anti-racist because that's my attitude. Apparently now, according to these people, it's my attitude there is racist. So they turned everything upside down, and what they have done is that they have brought racism back. Now, a lot of people feel that this is unfair because it is. That in itself will lead to more, is leading to more racism. So, I mean, we can discuss all day long if the system or society is racist. We can look at numbers, statistics, and so on. And maybe we should. Um, but that's not what these people are really into, because they have just assumed that it must be like this. The system is racist. Racism is built into the system, and therefore the system must be deconstructed. And I mean, communism is very, very close to their hearts. That's obvious, and a lot of these people from Black Lives Matter and so on, they have admitted that they subscribe to a Marxist ideology. And I'll say it again, because I know that I will be accused for being ignorant. Oh, I don't know how horrible it is to be. Uh, am I allowed to say Afro American? Even I don't know. But yeah, there will be people who say that, and also there will be people saying that I should be racist. I should be proud of my of being white and all that. Well, I'm proud of being Norse. Of course, I am. And if someone is, yeah, I just read about the Zulus, and now that's the only thing I can remember. The Zulus, or the Cherokee, or hold on, yeah, yeah. Well, any or Maori, you know, that's well, you should be proud. That's your ancestry. That's your culture. That's your heritage. You should be proud. It should be celebrated, of course. You know. Um, but no, no, that's apparently not, that's not good. That's not how it should be. And we should instead all be obsessed with people's skin color and this concept of race and all that. And I just think it's, it's very sad. It shouldn't be like that. It's very, very sad. Now, I'll tell you one thing here. Nugget and biscuit again. Well, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Um, Thanks a lot. I very much appreciate that. It's been a few um, rough days. Well, not rough in the sense that I get sad, but it's been rough in the comment sections because of my video on Europeans returning to paganism. And that has to do with taking pride in who we are, by the way. But this live stream will not be about that. Um, yeah, well, we can say that we are Europeans because, well, I live in Norway, so I am per definition European. There's a hierarchy. um, there. So, um, yeah, I'm Norse, then Norwegian, then Scandinavian, then European, and I guess I live on this planet as well. Last time I checked, but now we're in that hierarchy. Sorry, been a long day. Um, is the concept of being white? It doesn't mean anything to me. It really doesn't. To some, it does. We do have actually once a year we have a group of well, I think I can say that they are neo Nazis because they say that they are, and they are allowed to come here in this town because of freedom of speech and march in the street with their silly flag, and um, and that's it. It's like those people, they are proper racists because also they say that they are. But it's like, well, freedom of speech, that's important, and that's why I actually celebrate the fact that they are allowed to do that. Now, I don't like it, but because when I see people, that kind of makes me a little bit unwell. I don't like to see it do that. It means that we still have some freedom of speech. Well, that's a different discussion, and censorship in the social in society as a whole is a big problem. But let's keep that out of this live stream. Um, and it, it's hold on. Yes. So actually, when I was in school, it's been a few years since I was in school. I was one or two people who were leading a project. It was a 1 or 2 days, or was it a week? Um, uh, yeah. Well, anyway, that was during apartheid in South Africa. So we had a week or a few days when we had a focus on that. And back then, I remember that there was no talk about critical race theory or that white people are all racists or anything like that. It was about equality. It was about, yeah, apartheid was a bad thing, of course, you know. So it was about that. Um, and I remember that I would say that yeah, I would say I'm an anti-racist. And because of back then, you see, the meaning of that word was what I have said now. It's that we don't judge people by the color of their skin or their ethnicity. And we will certainly not make any such claim that all white people are racists because they are white. No. So, you know, that's, and I think it's sad because we should be able to take back that definition. We should take that definition of being anti-racist. We should take it from those people, because the critical race theory people, they want division and they want segregation. And if we look at history, we do know that segregation never leads to anything good. On the contrary, it leads to social unrest and a lot of bad things. Okay, so that was my little monologue there. I'll I'll just try to see if I can find the super chats. I try to respond to those first. Let's see here. Oops. Well, thanks. If I didn't say thanks, Nugget and Biscuit, I will say thank you again now. I'll scroll down. So let's see if there are anyone here that are. I always say the usual suspects. I can't. Well, keep track on the chat all of the time. But RC Scott, good to see you. Oh, you're leaving for work, probably another 12-hour shift. Well, school to you as well. Let's see here. I'll just scroll up quickly. If I, Uncle Charlie, good to see you. Let's see here. Yeah. Raffen Skål, hi there. Good to have a moderator here. You never know. Sometimes we do get a few trolls and haters here. This is an interesting question. Chidlin67 says, why is it okay for Native Americans to practice their form of paganism, but no other race can? Um, are you from the USA? Just interested to know. Because my impression is that I was shocked actually because of the hate, the level of hate. You should have seen all the comments that get censored. Yes, YouTube will censor because otherwise it would not look good. And you should see some of those comments. I don't want to curse there, but wow. So yes, so I think that I didn't know that there was such a hatred towards pagans in the USA. I did not know, which makes me think that it was very important that I made that video. But to answer your question, um, well, if it is like that, and I have no doubt that it can be like that, then it's not fair. It's horrible. I would say in Europe it's not like that. We have several different religious organizations here that could be defined as pagan. We have, of course, the Åsatru society, if you will, here in Norway. Not only in Norway, and the Hellenistic and Slavic and many others, and many that are not registered as an organization as well. And that's fine. I don't think any sane person has a problem with that. Lexi, yes, it works, and thanks a lot for that awesome donation. Thanks a lot. First ever super chat. That's very kind of you. And you're saying that we will need to learn a new we will n- we will need to learn a new language or continue speaking in code. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to censorship and all that. Um, let's see here. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try to stick to this topic. Lots of people are interested and curious about paganism. Um, but we're going to stick to this topic here in this live stream. But you can discuss it in the chat if you want to, of course. That's fine. Uh, I I think we should try to look into the future a little bit. So, what is going to happen if this is allowed to continue? Let's say that critical race theory becomes completely accepted, and that's what is taught in schools and universities and so on. Again, I think it already is in some, but it's not here in Norway yet. And I think, well, I don't know. I hope it will never happen. Um, and yes, we should talk about problems with racism in different parts of the world. We should keep an objective view on this. If you go to I know a few people from South Africa, and there certainly is racism towards Europeans there. There can be no doubt about that, and I'm putting it very mildly. A Pew Research did a very famous poll on this worldwide, and it appears that the most racist countries, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember the list. The most racist countries on the planet. Can you guess which ones those are? I'll tell you. Um, India, China, and the Arab countries. The least racist countries on the planet were, I believe, Canada. I can't remember the numbers for the USA right now. Canada and uh, north the northwest of Europe, so UK, Scandinavia, Germany, and so on. Vera, thanks a lot for the donation. That's very kind of you. For the prep fund. Uh, sorry, I have a problem here. You see, we got some flowers, and with those flowers were some flies, or little tiny flies, and so no, yeah, I'm worried that they fly around and I will get one in my mouth, but no, I didn't. um, now, I completely lost my train of thought there. By the way, if you want to see this channel reach 100,000 subscribers, then please consider subscribing if you haven't already. We are at 94,000 now, and it would be awesome to reach 100,000. David, Happy New Year to you, and thanks for the donation. And greetings to you from Norway. Yeah, so looking into the future a little bit. Let's imagine that critical race theory is accepted as truth. And we teach people who are we start teaching people that because kids that because of the color of your skin you are racist and you can't help it and you need to be re-educated. Can you imagine the harm that will inflict on these kids? When you're a child, it's very easy to make you believe stuff, and it's very easy to make kids feel bad about themselves. So I think it's going to lead to depression, maybe even suicide, and it's going to be very, very horrible. We can't let that happen, and we must speak up against this. Let's see. I saw a Nugget and Biscuit. Well, thanks again for that awesome donation. But what you're writing here is that critical race theory is being taught by private schools all across America. America. Between that and people claiming victimhood as a badge, we stand no chance here as a society. So I'm not an expert on America or the USA, of course, because I'm here in Norway. But I get the impression that it's very polarized now. And I seem to forget it sometimes because the contact I have with people from the USA is mainly through the comments and these live streams. And it makes me think that, well, people in the USA are good people, Well, you are good people in the USA, but what I was trying to say is that it makes me think that maybe things aren't as bad as they maybe are in reality, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, it's I'll tell you a little story. I liked books and I realized that I didn't have what's it called, Huckleberry Finn, and it's a pillar of American literature and so on. So I thought, well, I need to have that book, and actually I haven't read it. I'm going to, but yeah. So I ordered it, and I looked more into it, and I discovered that it's banned. That book is banned from several school libraries, according to the news. And I can't decide. No, I don't know if that is because. Okay, I'll try to find the right words here. First of all, I will just assume that what I read is true. Maybe it's not. Let's hope it's not. But if it's true, um, is it banned because it depicts and describes an era from American history where there were actual slaves, and that we can't have that because it provokes people who would say that they are anti-racists? Or is it because people on the other side of the aisle, they don't want books like that because they highlight the problems and the atrocities committed against the Afro Americans back then? I don't know. Maybe it's both, you know. Um, and and it's like, first of all, we are not responsible for what happened a long time ago. None of us are. We did not do that. And secondly, you know, it should be, we should all know this. If we try to erase history, if we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it. You know, there's a reason why the book was written. Well, many reasons. I'm an author myself, so, but it is important to keep these images of times that are no longer here, times in the past, so that we can know what it was like. We can read the book and be fascinated. We can read the book and be captured by the story, feel sympathy with the slave who's trying to escape and find freedom. And it's and there are many books like that, many books like that. And yeah, but I won't get into that either, because I am, as I said, I write for a living, so I'll just start talking about that for a long time. Yes, I was going to finish this with a bit of fun. Well, it's not fun. It's not funny. Harry, Prince Harry, Prince of the Woke. Yeah, so I don't like the royals in the UK, and I don't like monarchy as a. I don't like monarchy. Okay, I think it's unfair and it's stupid, and there should be no monarchies. That's my attitude to that. Um, and this Prince Harry in the UK, he of course has his book that was written for him, and he talks about. I haven't read the book. I'm not going to buy it. Not going to read it. It's everywhere, the whole thing, and the idea is that since his wife is Afro American or something, she was a became a victim to racism. That's why they were not popular and had to leave. So, okay, I can tell you this, Harry boy, I didn't know. I've seen many photos, of course, because it is everywhere, everywhere in the newspapers and so on. To me, she just looked like some American woman, you know, just another American woman. And it was only when they made a big point out of that I learned that she's, I don't know, Afro American or half Afro American. I don't care. I just think that these people are spoiled little brats, you know. I don't care about the ethnicity. I mean, and of course, the idea there is also that, well, it's critical race theory that we need to be re-educated because we don't know that we are racists, you know, and all that. Yeah, but I think it's kind of worth mentioning that I think most of us, we couldn't even see any anything, you know, we didn't notice any racial thing at all, you know. So yeah, I as I said, I don't view people, I don't by the color of their skin. It's just stupid to do that, you know. Okay, so I'm going to end the live stream here. And I want to thank everyone for joining. Wonderful, wonderful to see you all. And again, you know, I'll try to keep doing these live streams as often as I can. Okay, have a wonderful day, and as always, stay strong.